Good morning yet again, and welcome to another episode 6 to be precise, of Deez recovery journey. And here I get to share with you my journey through my addiction, which was specific to alcoholism. And as I've done in the previous videos, allow me to remind you what or who an alcoholic is. So, an alcoholic is just not somebody who is fond of taking the bottle. This is somebody whose genetic buildup easily allows him to fall into an addiction cycle once exposed to alcohol. So you'd find that his normal body functions, or the way his body normally releases dopamine, which is your happy hormone, is now tampered by alcohol. So your body starts to associate happiness with alcohol, and you start coping with alcohol. Through everything, you start identifying with alcohol. So that slowly pulls you into a vicious cycle. And I found myself in that for about 10 to 12 years. My story is long. I've shared it in other episodes. And I got to a point in my life, where it's not fun anymore. And I was dependent on alcohol. And this dependency makes you sick because, as I've said, alcohol is not food. Yeah. So I'd find myself getting admitted in hospital over several occasions. And each time I left the hospital, the first thing I would look for is another drink. That's why I'm telling you, it's a disease. And I didn't know. And that's why I'm sharing these videos. So you out there will understand that if you have an alcoholic in your family, the person is basically sick and they can get help. This addiction had attempts on my life. Especially there are times when I'd get a newborn. After I get a child like this, the following week I'm in hospital. Several times. I can count about 4 times I went to HDU. You wake up and you see how God took care of you. The time I woke up and I was at Kenyatta casualty, and I thought I was in hell because there were so many injured people around me, and I could remember screaming. And thanks to God, the people who took me there did not leave my side. So when they moved me to Nairobi Hospital, I got better care. And I remember my dad driving all the way from Kisii, and he looked at me and he was sad, and he was wondering what he did wrong. And he didn't do anything wrong at all. It's just me who exposed myself to alcohol. And little did I know that I'm an alcoholic. I prayed about my addiction for many years. I prayed. People didn't understand me. And some of you wonder how my wife put up with me. She's a good woman. She really is. But we're also not bad people. Shida yetu ni hiyo pombe. Our problem is the drink. But when you pray, God answers in different ways. And He answered mine. How? He took away my job. Many of you have gotten to that point where God gives you a way out, but you still hardened your heart. You need to make up your mind, like I did, and I got help. In the next video, I'll be able to explain how one can get help once you find yourself in this addiction. I would want to demystify what is known out there about rehab. Rehab is a good place, to be honest. And I started my journey from there. Thank you for listening to this episode. Please stay tuned for episode 7, where we'll finalize on how I finally got on myself on a path of recovery. Besides that, I wish you all a blessed weekend.